Hey guys, Gene here from the BSP Wrestling Show, here to bring you guys my WWE Raw review for April 3rd, 2017. Now this is the best Raw every year, the Raw after WrestleMania. The show where we get debuts and returns and a bunch of unexpected things and just a medley of just incredible wrestling, incredible storytelling, incredible moments. We get a raucous crowd who, coming off of WrestleMania last night, was ready to cheer for their favorite WWE superstars and women wrestlers, of course. We got a bunch of things that happened tonight. This was a freaking incredible Raw. I wish this could happen every week. I mean, I'm not saying you got to return anybody or debut everybody every week, but just the type of crowd, the atmosphere. I just wish that was how Raw felt every week. That's how it used to feel. But yeah, let's kick it off. Before anything happened, the crowd gave a good tribute to The Undertaker. Full chant broke out for a good 2 to 3 minutes, it felt like. And then a Roman sucks chant broke out as well. They paid good respect to The Undertaker. And they were just panning the crowd the whole time. They weren't doing anything. No announcers were talking. They were just panning the crowd. And pretty much, you know, the Undertaker chant was going on. Like I said, they started on Roman Reigns. And a little bit after that, of course his music hit, and of course the freaking roof blew off the place as they booed him out the freaking building. They did not like Roman Reigns, especially coming off of WrestleMania where he beat The Undertaker in Undertaker's rumored last match. So, of course, they were going to be against him. He got thunderous boos. He got into the ring. He got all types of chants. A fuck you Roman chant, a you suck chant. The crowd was letting him have it. Every time he raised the mic to his face, the boos got louder. An asshole chant broke out. And he just sat there patiently. He let them get it all out of their system and just kept lifting the mic, the boos and the chants and whatever. Repeat. He lowered the mic again. They'd chant something else. He lowered it back up. They'd get louder. It was just hilarious. And he finally said something. He finally just held the mic there until they quieted down a little bit. And he was like, "This is my yard now." And dropped the mic and walked away. I was like, that is incredible. That's all he had to do. The crowd was so angry at him. And all he said was, "This is my yard now." And then just dropped the mic and walked away. That was perfect. That was perfect. I knew the crowd was going to be against him. They were against him at WrestleMania. But this crowd, they were not holding back anything. I swear he stood there for about 6 to 7 minutes before he said anything. The crowd was on his case for sure. But that was great. That's all he needed to do. He did his job and got up out of there. We didn't see him for the rest of the night after that either. So, first match we get is a rematch for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We get the Hardy Boyz versus Anderson and Gallows. Rematch for them because they lost their titles in that ladder match to the Hardy Boyz. The pop they got on Raw was incredible, of course. They came out. They're kind of like half broken, half just regular Hardy Boyz. Which is, you know, something a few people are mad about. But I think they'll be, you know, broken soon. They have to really reintroduce it. Or, you know, introduce it to the full WWE crowd. Because some of them are just casuals who don't understand it. Even when they start chanting delete, some people don't even know what that means. So, they're just going to have to reintroduce it. Hopefully, they'll be able to get in some promos over the next few weeks. And, you know, they'll get back to their broken brilliance soon enough. They started off on fire, of course. And, of course, the former tag team champions are going to put up a fight. Jeff Hardy got the hot tag in this match and was all good until he set up for a Swanton bomb. Anderson and Gallows countered that, got him up for the boot of doom, and he kicked out. To be honest, I thought that he was going to lose. I thought they were going to lose after they hit that boot of doom. It looked like Jeff was knocked out, but he was able to kick out of that, and they were eventually able to come back. Anderson and Gallows tried to hit the Magic Killer. Matt Hardy stopped it from the outside of the ring. He hit a Twist of Fate on Anderson. And then Jeff hit a Swanton Bomb, and they picked up the win. So that means Anderson and Gallows are out of the running right now for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I don't know what they're going to do now. I'm sure they're pissed about that, though, of course. But I'm glad the Hardys are bringing new life to the tag team division and, you know, just bringing in that reaction that the crowd just loves to give them. they're freaking incredible. They've reinvented themselves, and they're just incredible to watch. So this is great. Once again, like I said in my WrestleMania review, I'm glad they're in the WWE again. So that was good. And so after that, we get Neville. Neville comes out. He cuts a promo before he has his match. He says, he did everything he said he was going to do. Austin Aries did a lot of talking, and he said he's better at that than fighting. He's better at talking than he is at fighting. Now, people may not like Neville's methods or tactics, but you can't deny results. On 205 Live, they'll have a proper celebration for him, but he couldn't refuse the opportunity to prove the crowd wrong once again. And before he could finish his whole promo, Mustafa Ali came out. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a very, very interesting match. And that it was. Now, of course, the crowd was not having it. They were, I think this is when Beach Ball Mania started up. They were just tossing the beach ball around and more focused on that than this incredible cruiserweight match we got. And I don't know. I don't think they should have did this for this match. This was actually a pretty good match. They were going back and forth with each other, flying all over the place. Mustafa Ali is a very, very good athlete, and he meshed well with Neville in this match. And it was like, there were some good spots that were happening the crowd wasn't really paying attention to because of the damn beach balls. But what winded up happening is they got the crowd's attention for a little bit because Mustafa Ali hit a Spanish fly from off the top rope on Neville, which was freaking incredible. One of the best moves I've seen in a long time. That was freaking crazy. And he was really competitive with Neville in this match as well. Then he did this spot where he did like this super kick to the satellite DDT. And then he went for his reverse 450 splash that he always does. But Neville got out of the way, climbed to the top rope to get the red arrow. But as the crowd was hyping him up for it, he gained some heat by hopping down and was like, no, just because you want it doesn't mean I'm going to do it. And he put him in the rings of Saturn and made him tap out to get the win. I love that. I love that he only breaks out the red arrow when absolutely necessary, not just because the crowd wants him to do it like he used to do. So that's good. It keeps some heel heat on Neville and keeps him looking good. And he won the match. So after this, we get a limo pulling up. And I'm just like, I wonder who this could be. And out step Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And then Vince comes to the ring after they come back from commercial break. And of course, the crowd sings his theme song, which has become the norm for Raw after Mania. And that was fine and everything. And he gets into the ring and he thanks the fans for an incredible weekend, for them being, passionate and, for all the success that WrestleMania had. And he says, but the wheels got to keep turning. And then he says, it's time to shake things up again. And I'm guessing, I don't know if we're going to have like a draft again next week, but he said next week we're shaking things up again. And that means, we're probably going to get trades or, I don't know, draft. They weren't really specific on what's going to happen. But all I know is that it was time for him to announce a new general manager. Because Stephanie went through that table last night. She's going to be out for a while. Plus, she fired Mick Foley. So, they got to come up with a new Raw general manager. And he was like, well, it's funny because this man actually went to the Hall of Fame over the weekend. So, your new general manager and Teddy Long's music hit. And I started dying. He came out dancing and everything. And holla, 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 player, player, player. And Vince is just looking like, cut his music. Cut his music. Cut his music, damn it. And then he's just like, Teddy, no, you're not the general manager. Just leave. You're not. No, I wasn't talking about you. It was just an epic moment. It was freaking hilarious. Teddy was like, oh, all right. My bad, players. And he left. And Vince brung out the Olympic gold medalist and just recent WWE Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is the new Raw GM. We heard rumors about it, but it actually turned out to be true. It's damn true. An incredible pop for Kurt Angle. He came out. Of course, the crowd loved him. You suck chants everywhere. He said, it's great to be back on Raw, and it's true. It's damn true. I just love this decision. It sets up so many different things. And then also this superstar shakeup, I guess that's what they're coining it next week, is just going to be incredible. I can't wait. I'm wondering who's going to go to Raw, who's going to go to Smackdown. I know a few people. Maybe I'll do a video on that this week. Would you guys be interested in seeing that? I'll do a video of who I think should go to Raw and Smackdown, or maybe who should come up from NXT or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a video on that, a little preview video. Maybe I can get a collaboration from one of my Four Horsemen brothers. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. But after that, we got the New Day. They came out. He talked about WrestleMania being a huge success. And Big E made another penis joke, said all the blood rushed from his head straight to his... And of course, Kofi stopped him, whatever. He said they were proud to host WrestleMania, but they were upset that they couldn't get in the ring and put a whooping on somebody like they've been doing. Xavier said they're issuing an open challenge to any team in the back, and guess who it was? The freaking Revival. The Revival are on Raw. They're done in NXT, and they've come up to Monday Night Raw. They came out and they knocked over the New Day's ice cream cart. These guys are just freaking amazing. If you guys have not seen their work in NXT, just go back and watch it. It's a treat, I swear to you. And it was just like, they were one of the most incredible teams to ever step foot in NXT. The way they work, which is kind of how they did in this match a little bit, they cut off the ring like no other team can do. It's just so great. It's freaking incredible. Like I said, go back and watch them. And they're just one of the most technically sound tag teams in recent history. So definitely go back and watch the Revival. But this match was pretty good. Of course, the Revival were going to win the match because it's their debut match. You know my theory on debut matches. If it's your debut match, you gotta win. I mean, it wouldn't make no sense to lose the match otherwise, unless there's a really big, greater picture. But Xavier tried in the end to hit Lost in the Woods, but he fell victim to the Shatter Machine. Like I said, they cut off the ring and everything during the match, so that was fine. It was a very entertaining match. And after the match, the Revival got heat because the crowd was with them. But they got heat after they attacked Kofi Kingston, who wasn't in the match. They pretty much laid out all three members of New Day by themselves. So that was good. That was some good heat they needed to get and establishing themselves as a good heel tag team. So we'll see what happens from there. Hopefully Monday Night Raw doesn't ruin them, like I know they can. But I'm anxious to see what they do with the Revival. So that's great. I'm glad that they're here. We had Kurt Angle in the office, who was very busy tonight for it to be his first night as general manager. Enzo and Cass came in. They did the whole can't teach that gimmick, and Kurt Angle was just looking flabbergasted. He didn't understand at all. In typical Kurt Angle fashion, he really was just like, okay, what are you guys talking about now? They were pretty much mad because they don't have gold around their waist, wondering why the Hardys are the tag champions. Why were they put in that match last night? Enzo made some reference like, why is Goofy treated as a human and Pluto's treated as a dog or something like that. He was just confusing Kurt. He really was. And Kurt was like, you know what? Forget all of this. I'll give you guys a #1 contenders match against Sheamus and Cesaro. Winner of that will face the Hardys. And I'm sure that'll probably happen at Payback. And then after that, Big Cass was like, we're going to beat them because they're soft. And he spelled out SAWFT. And as they left, Kurt Angle was like, okay, that's cool. Wait a minute. That's not how you spell soft. And Kurt Angle is just freaking hilarious, bro. I love him, man. I love him. Just he's so goofy, man. It just comes natural. It's just so freaking hilarious. Next, they announced a 6-woman tag team match. And they did it so subtle. I was like on Twitter, I'm just like, hold up. Did they just say a 6-woman tag team match? Is there even 6 women on the roster for them to have this match? And I'm like, what if Emma comes back? And by damn it, she did. Emma is finally back on Monday Night Raw. After all the waiting, all the vignettes, all the wondering what they're going to do with her. Is she going to Smackdown or something like that? Emma is finally on Raw. So we had this 6-women tag team match. Dana Brooke and Bayley and Sasha. It was weird seeing Dana on the face team, but of course she turned on Charlotte, I guess turning her face or whatever, versus Emma, Charlotte, and Nia Jax. This was an alright match. It was pretty cool. Just the fact that Emma was back, it added a different dynamic. Emma and Dana Brooke started off, which was funny because when they first came up to Raw, they came up together, with the gimmick that Emma's using now, the My Time gimmick. She's back to evil Emma. She's evil Emma. That's the Emma she needs to be. That's the Emma that's going to be women's champion. So I'm happy about that. They started off fighting, her and Dana Brooke, which was, like I said, was funny to me. She easily disposed of her, and she wanted to go right after the champion, Bayley. People are coming for Bayley's neck. Her team took turns teeing off on the women's champion until she was able to get Sasha in the match. She and Charlotte fought for a minute. She countered a natural selection and put her into the bank statement. And Charlotte tapped out once again. And they're teasing that turn. It's coming. Oh, that heel turn is coming for Sasha. I saw it. Not many people probably noticed this. But after the match, Sasha grabbed the women's championship. And as Bayley was getting up, she looked at her like, why you got my title? Give me this title. She's kind of like snatched it from her a little bit and gave her a look. And Sasha kind of like rolled her eyes. I was like, okay, this turn is going to happen sooner rather than later. It's coming. Oh, don't you worry. It's going to happen. And I saw it. After that, Charlotte went after her teammates after they lost, which was a bad idea because Nia pretty much squashed her. Emma didn't want no problems from Nia and got the hell out of the ring and let her beat up on Charlotte. So I'm guessing they're going to have their program next, which means Charlotte isn't going to be in the women's championship picture for a while. I'm fine with that. Charlotte can do incredible things without having a championship be involved. She's a great wrestler. She'll be fine. She doesn't need the title right now. She can win that back later. Sami went into Kurt Angle's office and, he said he had respect for him just like Mick Foley, and he talked about the mentorship he had with him, and he just wants that same type of relationship. And it seemed like he was getting on Kurt Angle's nerves. He was like, with this shake-up thing happening, I might go to Smackdown, but there's a McMahon over there, and you know how they are. And he pretty much was just talking to him, and then Kurt Angle was like, you know what? I see the 3 eyes in you: intensity, integrity, and intelligence. And that was a good cosign coming from Kurt Angle, Hall of Famer, of course. And, Sami was pretty much feeling good about himself and everything. And then Hardbody freaking Hall comes in and interrupts the whole conversation. He was mad about not winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and all this good stuff, and he was just upset. And Zayn was like, hold on, I was talking to Kurt, you can't just come and interrupt me. And they just started arguing, and Kurt was like, wait, that's not how we're going to do things. I don't know how things were done before, but we're going to just settle problems in the ring, and that's what you'll do tonight when you guys face each other. So he set up that match for later on Raw. The new Universal Champion comes out. And Paul Heyman told this whole little bedtime story about how Goldberg went into the village and thought he was running through everybody and thought everything was good. And then he took a trip to Suplex City and he got destroyed by the Beast. I'm going to just sum that up for you because he told this whole story and I couldn't follow it. So pretty much what he was saying is he got his ass whooped and now Brock needs a new challenger. So what challenger could he possibly have? Maybe the Hardys, maybe he'll face, somebody else, or maybe he'll face Roman Reigns. It's time to talk about the 2 and 23-2, because Roman Reigns is only the second person to ever beat The Undertaker. So maybe it's time for them to clash since Roman thinks that it's his yard. And why wait? Why wait for a big pay-per-view event to do it when they could just do it on Raw? And they pretty much were calling out Reigns. It was like, well, if he's the big dog, then Brock Lesnar is animal cruelty. And instead of getting Roman Reigns, we didn't get Roman Reigns. We got Braun Strowman. The Strowman. Braun Strowman came out to confront Brock Lesnar, and he was like, when I'm done with Roman Reigns, because I see you have, Roman has your attention. When I'm finished with Roman Reigns, maybe I'll have your attention, because you have my attention. And he pushed Brock back a little bit. Not like, maliciously or anything. He just pushed him. He shoved him back a little bit, gave him a little tap, and was like, yep, you got my attention. You got something that I want. I want your Universal Championship. So just know I got eyes on you. And then Brock kind of smiled at him a little bit. He set down the title and was pretty much he stepped back, was like, yo, you want some? Come get some of this. Come get some Suplex City. And then Strowman kind of looked at him. The crowd was chanting yes. They're teasing this match. They obviously want to see it. And Strowman was like, nope, we're going to do this on my time and my terms, and walked away. He took a powder, got out of the ring. So I'm interested in seeing that match because I feel like Strowman could hold his own. He'd be believable in the match with Brock because he's bigger than him. I don't think Brock would just squash him or whatever, but in due time, maybe we can possibly see that match. We had a Jericho interview backstage, pretty much saying he'll get his rematch at Payback. Then he put the tip of Kevin Owens' finger on the list for because he said that's pretty much if it wasn't for the tip of his finger, he would have lost after that code breaker that he did when Owens tried to do the pop-up powerbomb. If it wasn't for the tip of his finger, Jericho would have won that match. So he's going to take his title back at Payback, put that on the list, and as he's done putting things on the list, Kevin Owens comes up and attacks Jericho. He attacks him, starts kicking his ass. He starts fighting back on him a little bit, and then Samoa Joe comes and helps. And at this time, I'm like, well, Jericho's not going to be in that tag team match that they were talking about. And they powerbomb Jericho through a table that was backstage, and he was pretty much done for. When they came back from break, Kurt Angle came out the trainer's room. Like I said, he was freaking busy the whole night. And Seth came up and was like, how bad is Chris? Is he all right? Can he still go? Angle said he's in no condition to fight, but the match is still on, and he promises he'll find him a partner. So that's when I knew we were going to get who we got. And now I'll talk about it in a minute. We're getting there. We're close. But first, we got the number one contenders match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Sheamus and Cesaro versus Enzo and Cass. Crowd was trying to hijack this match as well. Kind of took away from it. It was an alright match. Crowd was singing and dancing for Enzo. Then they turned on them and started singing and dancing for Cesaro and Sheamus. I don't really know what they were saying. It was interesting. I don't know what they were saying. It was some chant. I wish I could have, heard what they were talking about. But maybe I'll ask somebody who was there what they were saying. But it was a pretty cool chant or whatever because the whole arena was doing it. And Cesaro and Sheamus came out on top. They stopped the bada boom chakalaka from Enzo and Cass. Sheamus broke Big Cass, got him out the ring, and threw Enzo off the top rope. And Cesaro caught him with the uppercut, and they picked up the win. So it's going to be interesting to see them go, not 1-on-1, but 2v2 versus the Hardys. I'll be interested to see that matchup. That'll be a very good match. I can't wait to see that. Next, we got Jinder Mahal versus Sami Zayn. Jinder tried to get the advantage by attacking Zayn before the match, and Zayn wound up coming back. Haluva kick. It was over. Not much to talk about there. I already knew that Jinder Mahal wasn't gonna win. I already knew that. Like that, I didn't even have to think about it. I already knew that he was gonna lose. So that was an easy choice. After this, we get the main event. Seth Rollins and a mystery partner that Kurt Angle was going to find versus Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens. And I was wondering on Twitter, who could Kurt Angle possibly get to help out Seth Rollins? Who could he possibly get? And of course, it was none other than Finn Balor. Finnegan is back. Finnegan is back on Raw, and he teamed up with Seth Rollins to take on Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Something about Finn's entrance that kind of caught my eye a little bit. He seemed a little heelish. I thought maybe there was going to be a possibility for a turn. When he came out, he wasn't smiling. When he first was there, he was smiling. He at least had that smirk. He wasn't smirking. He kind of looked a little pissed. Like you just came back from injury and you look mad. But he came out, did his normal entrance and everything. Crowd popped. Of course, they popped for him. They were chanting for him the whole night to come out, even during the whole Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman segment. So they were happy Finn's back. They had a great match with Joe and Owens, who thought they were going to get a handicap match, but wound up not getting that. And pretty much him and Seth Rollins worked well together. It was a good match worthy of a main event. The crowd was hyped the whole time. Rollins was getting his knee worked over, of course. Owens and Joe did a good job of working his knee and trying to take him out of the match by attacking the same knee that he hurt. He still had it heavily padded up like he did last night at WrestleMania. Balor was almost flawless in the ring. He looked incredible. He was, I forgot how good he was as a wrestler in the ring. He was great. he did his job. Balor and Owens were fighting at the end of the match, and Finn went for that corner drop kick, but as he ran at Owens, Joe caught him, put him in a coquina clutch, and Seth hopped from the apron to get Joe off of him, kicked him in the head or something like that, enziguri or whatever the hell he did. Then he got a super kick from Kevin Owens for his efforts, and then Finn drop kicked Kevin Owens, who flew into the turnbuckle, fell to the ground. Finn climbed on up, and coup de grace for the win. We got Seth Rollins and Finn Balor going over in this match, which is pretty cool. Like I said, Finn Balor's returning, of course. He was going to win this match. It was a weird dynamic of him and Seth, because Seth was kind of the one who injured him with that buckle bomb to the outside at SummerSlam. But I'm glad Finn Balor's back. I'm glad he's back. He looks great in the ring. He has a whole different demeanor, though, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But we got a great episode of Raw. A few cool down matches and, the crowd taking over for certain parts. But we got Beach Ball Mania and everything. It was fine. The Raw After Mania crowd is always going to be like that no matter what. They were singing theme songs and just a feel-good moment. So let me know what you guys thought. Did this Raw live up to your expectations? We got the Hardys. We got Finn Balor back. We got the Revival. Emma's back. Just a ton of great things happen. And I see a good direction for Monday Night Raw in the future. And hopefully they can capitalize on it. I'm hoping they can do that. That would be great. I would love to see just consistently very good Monday Night Raws. We'll see what happens, and hopefully they can capitalize on it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite part of the whole episode of Monday Night Raw? What was your favorite return or debut? How you guys feel about the Revival? How you guys feel about the Superstar Shakeup coming next week? Do you guys think it's going to be like a draft or something, or are they just going to do a few trades? Who knows what they're going to do? I'm excited for it. We get Smackdown Live tomorrow, which is the first kind of Smackdown after Mania, because it's live. We've never had a live Smackdown right after WrestleMania, and it's fresh off of Raw, so I'm sure we're going to get some surprises tomorrow too, so stay tuned for that. And maybe I'll do a preview video for the Superstar Shakeup in the middle of the week or so. We'll see what happens there. Thank you guys for watching my review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and WrestleMania weekend, I hope you guys enjoyed all the content I put out for you guys then. Thank you for all the new subscribers, all the new people I've met and collabed with. I'm going to have a ton of people on the channel coming up here pretty soon. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace.